Here's my review of Superman. Now, first things first, I can't believe finally actually watched this movie. It feels like just yesterday James Gunn announced the new DC universe, and we're already here at the first movie. I know Creature Commandos came out, and I still haven't seen it yet. I need to get HBO Max, but let's be honest, it's Superman that everyone was looking forward to. And I really liked it. I liked it, but in many ways, it had a lot of the stuff that I feared about it. Simply put, I just feel like there's a lot of this movie. There's just a lot going on. So in a way, it kind of feels a little unfocused. Like you have the Justice Gang here, and they are essential to the plot. But they just like the main plot of this movie is basically Lex Luthor. It's basically like a cancel culture the movie of what Lex is trying to do. And speaking of Lex Luthor, Nicholas Hoult, like, can we just talk about it? He is so good as Lex. Like, he was probably my favorite character in the movie. Like, I loved Superman, and that was the most important thing also, though, about this movie is one of the problems with the previous DC universe is I just didn't really care about Superman. I didn't care about Clark Kent. But here I do. But I just want to establish that real quick. But Lex Luthor, Nicholas Hoult, is so good. He is perfect. He is just a world-class hater, and I love it. You could just tell from every frame how much he just hates Superman. And it's almost over the top, but in a way, it works for this movie. Like, the scenes where he's just raging, he just gets mad when he sees Superman save someone and how they look up to him instead of him. It's just that petty, classic evil genius. It's like, why are they not worshiping me? I'm the smartest man in the world. I have way more money. Like, I'm way more powerful in terms of, like, he's only powerful because of he's an alien. He didn't deserve it. It's just that it's so much just spite and just hate that I just loved. And when it comes to like a lot of stuff going on, like of course we have a lot of the plots going on. There's a conflict in these Middle Eastern countries of these two countries going to war together, and it feels. I couldn't help but think when I was watching this, like, yeah, it feels kind of timely. I mean, I don't know if it was intentional. I mean, pretty sure this movie was written a couple of years ago, but it definitely kind of like was like, oh, okay. And like I said, this movie, and also just so you know, like all my reviews, this is full spoiler territory. So basically, Lex's plan is basically to fabricate this war in many ways just so he can get even richer. And, which is just classic evil billionaire stuff. Like, you need to sell weapons, so you can't have a war being stopped. And I loved it. I really did like I said, I think Lex was my favorite character in the entire movie, and I'm so excited to see more of him. But also, just all the characters in this movie are just perfect. I like Clark and Lois's relation. Rachel Brosnahan is fantastic as Lois Lane. I love how she just feels so much of a character in herself. Like in many ways, Lois, like, we're so far past the days of Lois, like, falling off a building and needing to be saved by Superman. Like, she just feels like a strong enough character where she could almost support her own movie. That's how interesting and developed she is. At least to me, I loved her character so much, and Rachel was so good in the role. And another great thing about this movie is Superman gets beat up a lot. And that's one of the struggles with Superman, is when you have a character who's so powerful, well, how do you make an interesting story about a character who can't be touched? Well, simple. You just depower him. And he's still extremely powerful, but he's just not he's not invulnerable. Like, he'll get beat up. If he gets hit hard enough, he will fall. And that's compelling. That's good to have a character who is still extremely powerful and extremely cool to watch, but he can be beat. It's just difficult to do, and that just allows for just a more compelling movie. In every shot, there's just so much beautiful shots. Like right after this, when we see Superman get healed by his robots, getting healed by the sun, it's just amazing. I loved it. And in many ways, there's a lot of stuff in this movie that feels like a direct counter, like a direct response to some of the criticisms of Man of Steel, which is a movie I like. I don't love it as much. I think there's some people who are hardcore defenders of it. I like it. I don't love it. But here, like, for example, We actually see Superman save more people. That's one of the most fun things about any superhero movie, whether it's Spider-Man in the first Spider-Man movie saving the baby from the fire, or also Spider-Man in Spider-Man 2 saving the little girl from the fire, or also in Spider-Man 2 when he saves all those people about to be hit by that taxi. That's what's so much fun, is seeing the superheroes. Like, yes, we love seeing them do these grand scale fights against these all-powerful beings or these all-powerful villains. But just the saving is just fun. It's just hopeful. And that's what this movie brings. And like I said, I'm going to get into a lot more spoilers, even though I've been talking about spoilers the whole time. And in some of my criticisms, like we have like the Hammer of Baravia, which is like the character of this fictional country. I just didn't find him as interesting as some of the other characters. And then we got a character of Ultraman, which, I mean, if you know anything, obviously we know he's a clone of Superman. Like, it's pretty obvious, like, if you know anything about Superman. But, and then, of course, David Cornsweet's under there. And I didn't mind it. I liked it. But it was really just the plot here, like, to me, I just didn't find it as compelling as I wanted to. But the characters here, for me, are all so good that, like, they basically counteract that for me. Because I just loved spending time with these characters. I loved Superman. I loved Lois. I loved Lex. And when it comes to the characters in the Justice Gang, Green Lantern, Hawkgirl, and Mr. Terrific, they're all really cool. But it was still another one of those things where it's like, they all do feel like they have their own characters. And they are essential to the plot. But to me, they just weren't as interesting as I would have wanted to. I still really like them. I still do. I still think that they are good characters and I would happily see them in another movie or a show. But it just feels like, in some ways, this movie kind of did what I feared it would, where it's like, do we really need to have these characters? Can we just focus on Superman? Because they're just not as interesting as Superman, Lois, and Lex. It's just unfortunate. And another villain, I mean, they're all villains, but like, of all the villains, they're all obviously just controlled by Lex Luthor. They're all just pawns, really. But the engineer, she's great. I love how the way her powers work, like almost this nanotech, venomy substance that she can create weapons out of. That was awesome. And she was great. And I love the scenes with Clark and his parents. This movie very obviously goes into the classic Superman ideas of, it's the choices that make you who you are. Clark isn't Superman because he's all powerful. Like, he's Superman because he's just a good person. And that's just beautiful. It's a beautiful movie and a beautiful message. It's great. And you're going to get some awesome, like, monster action in this movie. Like, this is at the very beginning of the movie. And it's awesome. Like, the action, it feels grand, as it should. And because this is Superman, the most powerful, one of the most powerful characters in fiction. And every punch feels just big. And this is a very big movie. Like I said, though, Lex Luthor is just hands down my favorite. He's just a world-class hater, and I just love him. Nicholas Hoult is so good. And also you have characters like Metamorpho, who I think is another great character. James Gunn is so good at taking these characters that no one even really knows about and making them great. Like Baby Joey. Oh my God. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about, but so great. It was great. But just like some of the minor issues just weigh it back just a little, even though I still think this movie is very, very good. And this is definitely the best comic book movie of the year so far. But like the switch up, like you have the public hating Superman, of course, and then when Lex gets exposed, the switch up is just, I mean, obviously they would, but it just feels very quick. And yeah, Lex, my favorite character. I love him. I just want to say that again. He's great. And the scene in the country with the little boy is just, it was beautiful. It was great. So yes, I really like this movie. I didn't absolutely love it, but that being said, I still think that this is a very good movie. I think it has a little bit of problems that kind of weigh it down for me personally. But that being said, I'm still very excited for the future of DC. I love David Cornsweet's Superman. I love Nicholas Holt's Lex Luthor, Rachel Brosnahan's Lois Lane. I love all the characters, and I'm just excited to see more of this world. I have a little bit problems with some of the pacing and the plot, but overall, I think it's a very solid movie.